Hello everyone, welcome back to AWS tutorial series. In today's video, we are going to understand the AWS global infrastructure. Before learning services such as EC2, S3, RDS and VPC, it is important to understand where AWS actually runs its infrastructure. We will learn about regions, availability zones, edge locations and how AWS provides high availability and low latency around the world. What is AWS Global Infrastructure? AWS Global Infrastructure is the worldwide infrastructure that AWS uses to provide cloud services. Instead of running everything from one location, AWS has infrastructure distributed across different geographical areas. This allows customers to deploy applications closer to their users and also design applications that can continue operating even if a particular location has a problem. There are several important concepts we need to understand. The most important ones beginners are regions, availability zones, and edge locations. You will hear these items frequently when working with AWS architecture. What is AWS region? An AWS region is the geographical area where AWS has infrastructure. For example, AWS has a region in Mumbai, India. If your customer are primarily located in India, you may choose an Indian AWS region for your application. The most important point is that a region is not just one data center. A region contains multiple availability zones. What is an availability zones? An availability zone, commonly called as AZ, is an isolated location within the AWS region. A region normally contains multiple availability zones. This allows us to distribute our application across different availability zones. If one availability zone experiences a problem, another availability zone can potentially continue serving the application. So let us see difference between the region and availability zones. The distinction is very important for interviews. A region is the larger geographical area. An availability zone is an isolated location inside the region. So you can remember it like this. Regions contains availability zones. Why do we need multiple availability zones? Suppose our application is running only in one availability zones. If that availability zone becomes unavailable, our application could also become unavailable. Instead, we can distribute our application across multiple availability zones. This improves the availability and fault tolerance. Now let us see what is an edge location. An edge location is the location used by AWS to deliver content closer to users. They are particularly important for Amazon CloudFront, AWS content delivery network. For example, if an application or website servers users users around the world, CloudFront can catch content at the edge location closer to those users. This helps us to reduce the latency. Let us see differences between the region, AZ and the edge locations. Regions is where we choose to deploy our AWS resources. Availability zones help us to achieve high availability within a region. Edge location helps to recover content closer to users. This is simple comparison, very useful for AWS interviews. Let us see how to choose the AWS region. While selecting the region, you don't simplify choose the closest location. We should consider several factors. First, its latency. We should also check whether the AWS services we need are available in that region. Pricing can differ from between the regions. Compliance and data residency requirement can also influence our decision. Let's take a simple example. Suppose we have a Spring Boot application and most of our customers are in India. We could deploy application in AWS region that is geographically appropriate for those users. Within that region, we can distribute our application across multiple availability zones. For example, we could use a load balancer to distribute traffic between EC2 instance running in different availability zones. For application that requires very high resilience, so organization may also use multiple AWS region. For example, one region can be primary region and another can be used for disaster recovery. This provides protection against a large-scale regional failure. However, multiple regions architecture is more complex and can also increase cost. Here's the easiest way to remember today's concept. Regions means the geographical area. Availability zone means an isolated location inside a region. Edge location means the location used to deliver content closer to users. If you remember these three definitions, you already understand the foundation of AWS global infrastructure. So, the some of the common AWS interview questions. Make sure you can explain the concept in your own words rather than simply memorizing the definitions. A particular important question is what is the difference between the region and availability zone? Let us summarize. AWS Global Infrastructure provides the worldwide foundation for AWS services. Regions allows us to choose the geographical locations. Availability zone allows us to build a high availability application. Edge location helps us to deliver content closer to users. In the next video, we will start learning one of the most important AWS services for security and access control, AWS IAM. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.